Good morning. It's wonderful to have you yet again for another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. Please check below for weather conditions and for special invitations, which I will mention. And if you don't see those, hit the refresh button on your browser because I was updating right until I came out today. Another beautiful winter day. As many of you know, I've done my own translation of the Bhagavad Gita, and that was a different sadhana. I lived each verse of the Gita for at least a day, and that did take years. And when I talk about the Gita, one of the things that people ask most often is how can this book that seems to be about war and conflict be the basis for yoga and especially yoga therapy? Well, we can definitely look at it as a book about war because it's on the eve of one of the most bloody battles of history. But we can also look at it as a roadmap to peace. And one of the ways we do that is by recognizing that, yes, these characters can be historical, but we can make them more relevant to us today by seeing that they are parts of us. And when we look at it that way, the conflicts in our lives, we can see how to resolve them. So, for example, I've mentioned in previous sessions that Dhritarashtra, the blind king that starts talking at the beginning of the Gita, represents our ego. And the ego's job is to divide the world. Mine, yours, us, them. Each of the Pandava brothers represents a chakra and also an elemental core value in us that will enable us to defeat any enemy. And there are many, many enemies. Arjun, who is one of the star players of the Gita with his friend Krishna, he represents skill, like finding our skill and the will to share our inborn skill and destiny with the world. His elder brother, Bhima, represents love, the heart center. And Arjun kills a lot of enemies, but Bhima kills the ones that really matter, the hardest ones. And those enemies include the firstborn son of Dhritarashtra. If Dhritarashtra represents ego, his firstborn son is selfishness, Duryodhana. And Bhima is the only one that can kill him. So, for example, if we're looking for ways to bring peace into our world, into our lives, into our relationships, selfishness is only defeated by love. That's one of the things the Gita and its source text, the Mahabharata, is trying to teach us with these stories. So I'm thinking about that today because I'll tell another brief story. It's often the little tiny things that cause the biggest conflict. For example, one of the reasons this huge bloody war started goes back to childhood of a martial arts teacher, Drona, and a young king, Drupada. And it is said that people from all classes spent time at a guru's ashram back in the day so that they could learn to get along and learn not just the physical aspects of yoga, but the ethical aspects as well. And when these two were boys, the king, well, he was a prince at the time. He was a crown prince. The crown prince said to his friend, the future martial arts teacher, "When I am finally crowned and ruler of my kingdom, I will give you part of it so that we can rule together and be friends always." Well, many years later, Drupada is crowned king, and his friend comes and says, "Remember what you said when we were kids at the ashram?" And the new king says, "You expect me to honor a childhood promise like that? Don't you remember, like, childhood is fantastical. Why would you expect that of me?" And then he said some other things that were rude. And Drona, the future martial arts teacher, went away. And instead of going, "Yeah, childhood, I can get that," or forgiving his friend, he's changed, he held this in his heart. And one of the reasons he fights in this great war is to take revenge upon this person he feels wronged him so much. Being able to let go of grudges leads to more peace in our lives, and love conquers selfishness. Here are two ideas for how you can bring more peace into your life. If you'd like more, I'm mentioning this because I've got a new series starting up on Thursday, and it's called War and Peace: How to Use the Bhagavad Gita to Bring More Peace into Your Life. And also, I'm using these stories in another course, the Yoga for Forgiveness, which is ongoing right now, and you can still join. Because I know many of you are looking for practical ways. Now, if you're looking for a practical way in my life right now, the only reason I'm able to go out there today and it's cold is because I love this practice. Love overcomes so much. Love, it enables me to bring my skill to the world and share with you that yes, yoga practices, which I do before this, do work and keep you from freezing solid in the chill of winter. I'm dedicating today's practice to all those who are suffering because of the weather here on the North American continent, and also again to Deb and Roger, who need a little extra support today. So shall we begin? The meditative practice, when we get to it, is for you to contemplate something going on in your life that's a conflict. Make a choice today. Are you going to choose war, conflict, or are you going to choose peace? It's up to you. And that's another thing the Gita says. It's all up to us. We're the ones that stop war, really. Okay, here we go. I'll knock. I have to keep the door shut again for the tech, but I'll knock on the door when I change sides and when I sit for the 5-minute meditation. Here we go. Oh, door open. There we go. All right. Keep you inside. Starting the meditation. I don't know if you can see me. It's hard. I'll be in the snow right out here. 5 minutes. We made it. We did it. And not by fighting the elements, but by loving them. One of the things I love about it being so cold is it's so quiet. Today it was just me, a female cardinal, and a chickadee out there having a good time. And I have a good time with you. Hey, if there's ever anything you want to hear me talk about, like any particular topic, any particular character, story, how I stay outside in the cold, then let me know in the comments because I'd love to address whatever you like. It's a partnership. We're working together, and I do love you also. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Oh, and if you live in Northeast Ohio, remember, outside pipes, keep the water running tonight, and open the cabinet doors so they don't freeze. Till then,